All right, good morning, everyone. Morning, Short It All. Good morning, Work Diver. Good to see you guys here today. For some reason, NCLH, I don't know what the deal is, but let's see. Let's look at. Okay. Cruise lines are getting decimated right now. Wonder why. RCL, CCL. Interesting. Almost be worth it to start scaling in on this. I could build up to a 500 share position because there's something going on here, and it's looking like we might get a drop. It'd be very interesting to know if I'd like to build a position here. Be interesting to see how far up it can come. The closer we could get to 40, the better. 1240. I'm going to go ahead and jump in with 200 shares here, and I'll see if I can build a position on that. But it would be interesting to know kind of what's going on with these airlines, or these, excuse me, cruise lines. Obviously, you know, if it comes up past a certain point, I would need to be ready to jump out. But anyway, I wanted to just go ahead and get in a little bit of a position there in pre-market because this it's really based more on the daily chart. The daily chart and the fact that there's a major sell-off here. I mean, this had a major drop down. I have no clue where that came from. But I would be interested in averaging in all the way up to maybe 1250, although that might be more of a get out point. So anyway, I did see a little bit of news about some kind of law firm investigates claims on behalf of investors of Norwegian Cruise Lines holdings. So I don't know. What's up, Soccer? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Yeah, I'm going to see if I can build a little bit of a position here. But we'll just kind of run through the watch list here. So this is coming up. So this is good. I could add about another 100 at, or maybe another 200, we'll say, at 36. See if we can get another 200 at 36. Okay, and in the meantime, that would bring my average up to, I can't even do math right now, 21, 1221 maybe. But yeah, I think that'd be a good spot. See what it's doing here. And then I would look to add one more time. So, okay, all right. So we're looking at that right now. I'm going to go ahead and just set alerts, so we can go through the watch list. And there's, to be honest with you, there's really not too much to talk about today. Let's see. Let me know if you get to 1236 on the ask, and then let me know if you get to $12 on the bid, because I might want to add there. Actually, I better, oh yeah, I'll do that. Okay. And then NVAX is another one that I want to set an alert for. We're still creeping up on this breakout. They're just, I mean, we technically have had the breakout. It's just not going anywhere, really. So I do want to know again if it breaks over 1825. So I'm going to go ahead and set an alert on NVAX at 1825. Going to want to know if it breaks out past that. Okay, and I'm going to remove that from the list, and I'm not really going to pay attention to it today. Yeah, so CA, okay, so works, I've definitely got that up. We'll address that in a minute. Sauger, ICD, I really don't know what to think about this one at the moment. I looked at it earlier this morning. Let me look at the news on this one more time. Now it says efforts to address current market conditions. I mean, there's nothing major as far as news catalyst, but this could go somewhere. Could go somewhere. But I don't know. Honestly, don't know what to think about this one. It's got a lot of moving averages to break through. It's not really a previous runner. It's never had like any major, super major run-ups. Like you don't see any of these, just long spikes on the daily, if that makes sense. So, I mean, for me to be interested in this stock, it would have to at least break through this 100-day moving average, and then break past $13. So essentially, I would want to know if this makes it up to $12. I'll put an alert on it. ICD, let's see. Price $12. Okay. And actually, let's delete that one. Price $12. Watch for daily break of 13. Okay. All right. Okay. Daily break of 13 there. So. And then, yeah, I can see it had a good little run up. So CANF, this has run a few times. So this could be good. It's another one of those things where, I mean, here in pre-market, it's, you know, it's not breaking through those moving averages. So I might be interested above 280. So I'll set an alert for that one too. So CANF 280. Add. Okay. But the one that I do have on, well, okay, so I've got CSTO, and you know, this I'm looking at more as a possible shorting opportunity. It's easy to short, and you know, take a quick 1,000 shares on something like this, which would be conservative for this price size and you know whatnot. But it would not be conservative for the kind of spread we have on it. I would need for that spread, obviously, to you know, I would need for that spread to clear or to close in a little bit more. But you know, I'm really not liking the volume. I'm probably just going to take that off. So Works, what was the news on Works? I was looking at this earlier. Morning, Notre Dame. Good to see you, man. So Works announces first installment of purchase order for 48 million COVID rapid testing units. Okay, so over 24 weeks at $35 million per week. So that's pretty good. It's a low float. It's a low float. So this one could definitely move. It's moved before. A lot of shares trading on it already. The shares haven't rotated yet, but yeah, this is going to be interesting to me. NCLH, man, it went right up to 35. It did not grab my order to add, so I need to probably remove that, because if it breaks out past there, it'll probably come up into the 50s or the 60s. I would still continue to add to this. I'd be interested to add to this if it came up. So I did get in a little prematurely, got a little antsy, but I wanted to at least start adding some shares. So might consider adding another 200 up in the 50s. We'll just have to see how the chart's going to look, but I'm already in NCLH, so I'm pretty committed to it, and I think that's the one I'll be watching out the gates. And if it starts to make a pretty solid move down, I'll consider adding to it. If it doesn't look like it's going to get a clean break of $12, then I will probably end up coming out. So I want to see a lot of selling. I want to see this basically drop back down and see a lot of selling at the whole dollar. Okay, and that's where I'll go ahead and add another 200 shares, and then we'll see if we can get a good move down on this. At least make, you know, 150, 200 bucks off of it. Now, if it shows a lot of strength out the gates, then I'm gonna have to get out. But CCL looks like it wants to make another move down. So we'll see. We'll give it a chance. We'll give it a chance. But work is going to be something that I'm looking at more for a long. PSTI is kind of continuation from last week as well. Let me see here. Look at the news on this. Expands its compassionate use program, treated first COVID patient in U.S. under FDA single patient expanded access program. Okay, so their shares on Friday or Thursday had jumped on COVID-19 study results. So yeah, this is one that I would probably be interested in again. I'd have to just set an alert for this, and I would want to see a really clean break of 936. So I'm going to set an alert for this one. PSTI 925 on the ask. Actually, let's see once it gets up to $9, and I'll just put a note here, watch for break of 936. Okay, so there's that, and I'm going to remove it from my watch list. Just trying to keep this watch list down. Don't want to put too much into this. Delta Airlines looks like it could have a breakout past 25.85. So that's kind of the other thing that I'm going to be watching here. Now, just to address the SPY, because this is kind of where you get into looking at the SPY and what the SPY is doing. Obviously, you can see a very similar chart. If we pull down the SPY here, there was a gap down and it's gradually come up. Look at Delta. It's basically sold way off, and it's gradually come up with the SPY. So this is one of those ones that the SPY is probably going to be an influencer of. But if the SPY is losing ground this morning, I will probably go ahead and short Delta. But if the SPY is pumping up, I think Delta could have a really good breakout on the daily. So let's see here. So this is what the SPY daily looks like now. Man, I mean, we've had, and I think I discussed this the other day, if you break out the Fibonacci retracement tools, we're hitting right at about the 50% retracement. So obviously the levels to look for today, and I'll just prop this back up. We need to look for a break of 279.33, and then an ultimate break of 281.94. 281.94 would be critical, and I think we could get a good move up to 285 after that. So 279.33 and then 281.94. Yep. And actually, 281.20 is going to be a pretty critical area as well. Just because that was the previous day high. Got up to 281.94 in the previous day high. So we're going to look for that too. And then I'm going to go ahead and mark some pre-market lows. So this is kind of what my chart looks like here. So I marked out these pre-market lows here, 274.07. I want to know if it breaks through that, and I'll keep some of these other levels here where they're at. This might be a nice little level to mark here, so I'll kind of mark that. Oop. Let's try that again. There we go. Gray it out a little. Okay. All right. And NCLH looks like it's coming back down. Like I said, I want to see a lot of pressure, a lot of selling pressure at 12. We'll see a lot of selling pressure at 12. It is getting close to market open. Starting to whip around a lot. Oxy's another one that I'm watching. Just kind of on the sideline. Oxy, APA. Really care less about those. But ZM looks like it could have a continuation going up if it picks up on some market volume here. Boeing, again, I think Boeing is going to be dependent on the SPY, but we can go ahead and mark a level of 157.97. That would be interesting. 157.97. So we'll alert Boeing 157.97. Otherwise, I'll just kind of keep that. I'm actually going to move Boeing up above Oxy and all that. So, and DAL, again, looks like it could have a nice breakout above 25. Where is that? 25.63. Really, 25.85 is kind of the breakout point there. So, NCLH, and now because NCLH has kind of made this move, I'd probably would want to get out if it broke past 12.35. It came back up. I need to see really quick follow through here. Like I said, as soon as the bell rings in a few minutes, unless we start seeing that follow through now. If the bell rings, I'm gonna jump in, but we do want to see a lot of selling at 12. I'm going to see a lot of selling here at 12. Okay, DAL, let me check back with this real quick. So if this breaks out 25.69, I'll look for critical break at 25.85. So DAL 25.69, breakout, let's say daily breakout 25.85. So I'd probably come out. So I'm going to go ahead and set a stop order at 12.25 on 100 shares. So buy, stop there, and then I'll come out the other 100 if it breaks 20 or 12.35. So that's my plan for that. So if it ends up coming up and breaking through those levels, I'm going to get out and just wait to reset, wait to see what happens. Otherwise, if it, continues to make its way down, I will add to it. And I will consider putting in an order. Let's see, 1164. I think the first order would be 1170 if it breaks down here. All right, guys. So hope everybody had a good weekend. I want to go ahead and apologize for not getting another episode of The Trader's Mind Up. I had every bit of intentions of getting a new Trader's Mind video up this weekend, and with my other job, there was a huge project I ended up having to take on over the weekend that just prevented me from really doing anything else. I mean, obviously I had to have time for my family, so factoring them in and everything. So it was basically working on this project all day Friday, and then even some of the day Saturday, and then the rest of the time just was family time. So I trust me, I thought about it. I wanted to come up here and record it and get it up, but anyway, it just wasn't the right time for that. But we had a great weekend. We had a wonderful weekend together. Enjoyed our Easter Sunday together, and hope you guys did as well. Okay, PSTI broke $9. Ooh, NCLH is at 12. Am I going to get the ad here? I don't want to do it yet. I don't want to do it yet. I better put that first stop at 20. Let's see. That's a little too late for that. Okay, I missed the ad. Missed the ad. So I'm going to let this go as long as I possibly can. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and come out some there. So I took 100 off there. See if we can get a continuation. I'll consider adding. Ooh. It's wrestling. Doesn't seem like it wants to go, but it's running through it. It's running through it. So, come on. Let's get the breakdown. Oh, I missed. It did not take my order. That would be the case, wouldn't it? So I'm going to come out another half there. We're up 71. And we'll stop out the rest at 1181. Stop out the other 50. Stop by at 1181. Let's look at work. Let's look at Delta. Delta's going down. That broker restriction kept me from filling those 500 shares, guys. I was going in a whole nother 500 at the break of 1150, and it just wouldn't fill me. Just wouldn't fill me. We'd be doing so well right now. I did enjoy the Easter weekend note again. Hope you did too. Hope you did too. Okay, this is taking off without me. Man, I wish I'd gotten in those 400 shares. Hindsight. Hindsight. Good old hindsight. There it is. It continues to move. We're going to get another move here. I've got 250 at 1122. So obviously I'll have to come out if it doesn't break 11 here. We need it to break 11. Break 11, come on. There you go. See if we can get another add if it breaks. 7. Is it gonna backfire on us? Okay, coming out. So we're up 89.02. Give it another shot. Give it an opportunity to break. Looks like it could get a buy up here. Glad I came out. Would not have enjoyed that at all. Still weak. See if it comes up a little bit more. See if it can break up through 40. $42. I'm going to go ahead and look at work. Okay, work is not coming up. Delta still coming down. Delta is making quite the move here. Quite the move here. See if we're looking at any critical levels here. So we need to break, I think if we break 2407, we can get a good solid move down. So we'll look for the break of 2410, and then we'll look for the break of 2407. See if we can get follow through. Okay, let's see. Okay, we got in, well, we got in at 7. Just pausing there. See if we can get a continued move. Continued move, come on. There we go. Got some good continuation there. Going to come out half. And let's see if we can get a continued move down. And those last 100 shares. There we go. It's great continuation there. There we go. Great continuation. Consider adding at 50. Great continuation. There we go. And can we get an add at 50? Let's go ahead and do that. There we go. 300. There we go. Come out half. 2352. Okay, coming out. We're up 179.77. NCLH. Oh, beautiful rejection off the 40s. Came down. May break 11. That'll be interesting. Interesting to see. Can we do it? Can we do it? $23.30. Could get another good break there. Yeah, it was a good break. Wow, great continuation here. Great continuation here on DAL. SPY's pulling up. DAL still looks like it's getting a little bit of a fail. Boeing is getting a little bit of a pullback. Let's see. Can we get a breakdown? Can we get a breakdown here? It's a broker restriction anyway, so it's going to be hard to get filled. Tell you what, if it holds it, see if we can hold it. Yeah, it looks like it might hold it, guys. Let's see. SPY's coming up. Okay, yeah, it's holding it. Don't know if that's, I don't know if this is strong enough for a reversal. ZM strong, yeah. we were talking about earlier in the live stream, Yoni B. I don't know if you were here, but we were talking about a possible, uh, breakout to the upside. So it is looking strong. A lot of volume coming in right now. I guess I would be a little interested in looking at a point where, looking at a point to short, but I don't know. We'll kind of leave that alone for right now. Let's see. So DAL. Right now, I'm going to start looking for reversals, guys. I'm going to start looking for reversals. But we may not get the reversals. So I'm going to be very, very, very careful with that. A lot of it is contingent on what happens with the SPY. So DAL just continuing to get hammered. And it looks like the SPY is getting a little bit of a rejection there at VWAP, but I'm going to give DAL another opportunity to reverse here. I'm going to give it another opportunity to reverse, but 2275 is a pretty clear breaking point, and if it can't break that candle, SPY has made it above the VWAP on the 5-minute. It's coming back below the VWAP on the SPY, but it's picking back up. NCLH looks like it's staying up above the $11 mark. Could get a good solid potential reversal here. Just not. Let's see. SPY's still weak though. SPY is still weak. It's not quite going there. Okay, SPY's weak. What's happening to CCL? Okay, so there's divergence there with CCL. CCL's following the SPY. Delta, kind of. But if the SPY looks like it wants to keep coming down, almost certain that again 2275 is what we're looking at. SPY's pulling pretty hard too. But there's still resistance here with DAL, which is interesting. Yeah, I haven't been watching works, but it looked like it was looked like it was struggling a little there, Sauger. See if we can. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and jump in here for another 200 shares short. Come out a little if I have to. Struggling. Come out a little. I'm going to come out the rest. Okay. I'll give this a second here. Seems like when SPY shows the least little bit of strength, it comes back up. Yoni B says, nice, Matt. Wasn't in when you were talking about ZM, but great call. Yeah, man. Yeah, I don't, and I honestly don't even know what ZM's going to end up doing today, but okay, let's try this again here. See if we can get a clean break below 70. Come on. Fail the reversal. Fail the reversal. Ah. It's fighting it. Okay. Come out 100. Let's just see. See if we can get this break. Come on. There we go. Nice break. Nice break there. Can we get a continuation? There we go. There we go. Beautiful. Okay, we're going to go ahead and come out there. We're up to 12.27. SPY's continuing to lose its lunch. Where are we looking at here? 22.53 and then 21.90 is the next potential spot there. So NCLH still holding. Boeing not doing too much. Oxy not doing too much. ZM seems like it's retracing a little bit here. So we'll just kind of sit on the sidelines there with that one. DAL. Yeah, DAL's having a really hard time getting good follow through. Let's look at CCL and then AAL. Yeah, they're all kind of bottoming out here. They're all kind of bottom, and NCLH. That seems to be the strongest. Let's look at DAL again. Where is DAL? What have we hit? So 22.24 looks pretty significant. This is all going to be pretty rough. All the way down to 21.90 is going to be pretty rough territory, but 22.34. But SPY is making its way down towards pre-market open, so some point we're going to get a reversal. Let's see. I'm up 114 on works, no positions now. Great job, Sagar. I agree with Work Diver. Nice work. Nice work on works. Really good job. Great way to start the week. I'm going to look for a little bit more opportunity here. Sorry if you guys can hear the baby in the background. You know, my son has been teething again a lot. A lot. The teething has come back with maximum aggressive force. I feel so sorry for him, and he's his upper gums are so swollen. So they've been really, his gums have really been bothering him lately. So you guys might hear him whining a little today. Okay, SPY has broken through, and I feel like, you know, before this gets to the break of 21.90, I don't know. I want to give this a second here, and I want to make sure that SPY breaks pre-market lows, and it's headed towards pre-market lows right now. You know, so DAL has been kind of a pill. It's been going back and forth. You know, it looks like it's going down and then it snaps back, and it looks like it's going down and it snaps back. And so, you know, in my opinion, I think the best thing that could happen is for SPY to break pre-market lows, get a confirmation breakthrough, and for DAL to get a confirmation breakthrough past this 21.90 area. So right now SPY is bouncing off of the pre-market low. Doesn't mean it won't see continuation, but right now it is bouncing. We can see here on DAL we've lost a significant amount here. We are in some areas. These areas are going to be tough to push through, but like I said, I think once we get past 2191 and maybe even 2175 here, it was 2177, 2175 on the daily. But right now SPY is getting a nice little pullback right off of the pre-market lows. So I probably should have taken that for a long, just a quick scalping long, but let's just see how far NCLH comes up, and let's look at CCL as well. Okay. Let's look at works again. Works could continue. I mean, we just got to give it some time. NCLH. Yeah, I'm not even going to mess with that one anymore. I think I'm done with that one. Starting to look like Chop Fest. I mean, I guess it could come up, but I don't know. Okay, so there's a level. SPY right now is kind of stuck. Well, never mind. Looks like it just broke out. So broke to the upside. So I'm going to look for a little bit of established support here and see if I can't get in on a reversal with DAL. It's lost a lot, guys. It's lost a lot. Now, it could have lose more. Absolutely. Absolutely. But I don't see why we can't get a return to VWAP on this, especially if SPY remains strong. SPY's pushing. So let's go ahead and get in for a little bit of a long here. See if we can get, we got 2260. See if we can get a continuation up. There we go. Gonna come out some. Not feeling too good about it, but let's see if we can hold these 100 shares. Okay, gonna come out. Okay, so SPY is pulling back a little, but it may continue to remain strong. Okay, well it is. So I really would have liked to see more of a pullback and establish support before getting in on a reversal. Those are typically better moves for me. But let me see here. We had a 5-minute breakout. Again, a lot of this is depending upon what the SPY does here. Okay, and the SPY's ramping it up a little bit, at least on the 1 minute. It's getting a quick pullback. Okay, so it might drag this down with it. Yonibee's going long on Roku. Stop 92. All right, Yonibee. SPY looks like it's got some room, excuse me, to bounce. But I don't know, guys. I really don't know how I feel about it right now. So I'm just going to kind of sit here for a minute. And I'll take a quick look at Roku. Roku. Okay, Roku's having a nice little breakout there. So It's pretty good. I mean, it's a little spready, a little too spready for my taste, but yeah, if your stop's 92, you're giving yourself plenty of time to stop. Because we're up at 94.50 right now. So, where did you get in, Yoni? Did you get in the 15-minute breakout here, the 93.69, or? Okay, got in at 94. Okay, cool. Okay. Were you able to take? I mean, you got a whole dollar move here. Were you able to take a little bit of profit on that? Spy's looking interesting, by the way. Let's see. You like the daily? Okay, yeah. Well, that's right. You're kind of more of like a swing trader type. So you're yeah, still in full size. Yeah, you're probably I was gonna say gonna really give it time to work. So that's good. That's good. I hope you do well on that trade. Keep us posted. Okay, here we go. So Spy looks like it could be making a reversal. And this would definitely give Delta some time to pick up. But I don't know. I don't want to get caught in the chop. Don't want to get caught in the chop, guys. You know, you can see here it came all the way up, made this nice move, then kind of teetered around, then came all the way back here. You know, so we had a, almost a 40-point drop there. And, but, I mean, the thing is if SPY stays strong and keeps pushing, we could see a good clear breakout here. So let's see CCL. CCL's breaking out. Let's look at some other AAL. Slightly. These are just really slow moves for my taste. Let's see. Yeah, it's more of a swing turn to day trade type trade. I'm still trying to learn day trading. Old habits die hard. True, very true. Man, I'll tell you what. I wish I had held on to some of that. There's just again, there's nervousness here because even though we do see SPY breaking off that critical pre-market low, it just when I saw this candle here, this indecision, and it was just kind of riding and bouncing off that EMA. It's just so hard to say. It's so hard to say where it's going to go. And at least for me, this might be fine for some people's strategy, but I didn't want to take any more of a chance on it than what I had to. I like to see much greater lined up probabilities. So see if any other kind of damage can be done here. Okay, out half at 95.50, putting stop at break even for the rest and holding as long as it lets me. Okay, good. Good job, Yoni B. Good job. And you said you went in. You said you went in that with full size, full position. And I don't. Well, I don't. I guess I don't know what full position would be for you, but that's great, man. That's really good. It's really good. Good job. 200 shares. Nice. Nice. That's great. That's great, man. What a great conservative trade. What a great conservative trade. So you got in at 94. You took the first 100 off at 95.50. So you got 150 locked in right there. Yeah, man. I mean, if it moves a few more dollars, I mean, this could turn out to be a $300, $400, $500 trade or whatever. I mean, I don't know how long you're planning on hold. I guess if you hold that 100 shares for another $10. I don't know if you plan on going that long with it, but that obviously could. You basically make 1,100, 1,200 bucks off of 200 shares. So that would be nice. But you can see here on the SPY, we have come back down to the pre-market low. And we are breaking through it, guys. We're breaking through it. So I may actually look to go short again here on DAL. So just want to see. I mean, if there's a lot of divergence from the SPY, then I don't know if I'm going to want to do that here. Let's see. Struggling. And the SPY's getting bought up off that line. But I think we're just seeing a little bit of a pullback. Thanks, Yoni B. Yeah, that's why I love my channel too, man. I think there's something to say for that. There's something to say for that. You stopped out the rest. Did it where did it go? Did it come back and stop you out? Oh man. Yeah. But you know what? You know what though? I mean, think about it. What a phenomenal trade. What a phenomenal trade. I mean, you took 200 shares and you made 150 bucks. You made 150 bucks. Just off of one trade. We've been in the market, what, 30 minutes? I mean, come on, man. That's great. That's lawyer money right there, bro. Just tap me and it's looking like it wants to go. Yeah. You make 150 bucks in 150 bucks in 30 minutes. You're doing good for yourself. Most people have to work 10 hours to make 150 bucks and then it gets taxed. Of course, we get taxed too, but, still. You can tax me all you want if I'm making 150 bucks an hour, or 300 bucks an hour, I guess is what it would be. And it's just clicking buttons. Yep. Yeah, and doing something you love. ICD. It is. It's breaking out. I have an alert set at $12, so be interesting. Volume is picking up. So that's good. We may be going to test that. So, huge jump. I was thinking about getting in right at 11. Huge, massive jump up there. Might be going for breakout, guys. Might be going for breakout. I don't know. This is these I get a little cautious on these. I know I'm going between cruise lines and airlines, but So SPY's making a little bit of a pullback. Look at this though. This is chopped. This is the stuff that you don't want to get caught in. This is stuff I don't want to get caught in. But it broke through the pre-market low, and then look, it's getting bought right back up. So it's holding its ground. I just need to sit on the sidelines and wait to see what happens with that. So that's why, you know, all this right here. So Boeing's, they're all kind of pulling this choppy action right now. So we've got to be careful. Got to be really careful. Now this looks like it's kind of holding it together a little bit better. U.S. oil is up. U.S. oil is doing pretty well right now. It's kind of going on its own little tear, which might be why is ICD related. So yeah, that could be part of it. That could be part of it. But yeah, this is a little. I don't know, guys. This is risky. ICD about to bankrupt shorts. Yeah. That there is one stock that had an incredibly high short float interest, and I wonder if this was it. I can't tell. Cannot tell. So, can you locate shorts on this? Nope, not on Lightspeed anyway. SPY looks like it wants to break through that that VWAP, guys. OPEC reached a deal over the long weekend. Okay. Sauger's not in it. That's all right. Be careful with your opportunity, Sauger. Just be careful, man. It's a spready stock. Spready stock. I think it's a pretty low float, right? I don't have the scan on it up on my screen, but I'm pretty sure it was a really low float. But yeah, just be careful with that. Be careful with that one. ICD, man, my alert went off. Break at $12. It's the 100-day moving average. So it said watch for daily break at 13. So this is kind of one of those situations where you feel like, okay, it's going into a halt. You feel like, you want to get in because you know it's probably going to try to test 13, right? So yeah, I'm going to take works off. I want to know about works if work gets over, and I'll replace that with ICD. If work gets over $7, it'd be interesting to know. What are shorts on this? Oof, too much. Forget about it. It's too choppy. ICD I want to know if it gets above. Let's see, ICD. So CNF must not be doing anything. Let's see, NVAX must not be doing anything. What was it? $13? Okay, so alerts, ICD, price, we'll say 12.55. We'll say 56 on the ask. Watch for 13. Okay. And then CANF I'm going to get rid of. Let me check on it real quick. Yeah. No interest there. Okay. Oxy could be making a little bit of a pullback here. Let's look at DAL. think DAL is probably waiting on the SPY. Yeah. All these airline stocks are just kind of waiting on the SPY. So, guys, I'm going to take a quick break. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Right now, SPY is looking like it's getting a VWAP rejection. I'll pull the chart down here so you can see. So we bounced off that pre-market level, the pre-market low, twice. And now it's hitting up. Looks like it might be rejecting off the VWAP. If we get a further move down, the next level we're looking at is 273.10. And then there's a couple levels in between, maybe the 272.30 level, and then maybe the next hard level would be 270 though, 270.94. So yeah, it looks like SPY looks like it wants to triple bottom down there, and if it has a breakthrough, if it has a breakdown, I can see a lot of these other stocks following suit. So I'll be watching that. You can see here on the daily chart, there's a key daily level right here at 275.03, and yeah, 273.95 is definitely going to be a good breaking point for that. And really, the next point after that is 266.66. So, but SPY's whippy. Look at this. Gonna bought right back up here. So I don't know, guys. You're just gonna. It might be chop fest. Might be chop fest for a while until it picks a direction. But it's not selling off easily. Bears are definitely not as in control of this market as they wish they could be right now. And I'm talking about my own. I'm talking about my own here. Like I'm a bear. I am definitely a bear when it comes to the markets. So, just trying to give an honest assessment though. Boeing, okay, ICD had a major drop. This is just why very, very careful with these stocks. Now, it's strong. Does anybody know the exact float on this stock? And I'll check out Works again. Yeah, it's breaking VWAP. I think I set it to, what did I set an alert for $7, was it? Let's see. Oh, I did not set an alert. Works. Let me know about $7 on the ask. Yep. I probably wouldn't be interested unless it could break back up past 720. So I'll be alerted at 7. And then I'll see how strong the volume is. If the volume looks like it's coming in and there's a lot of buying, I'll go for the break of 720. So, look at this, ICD all the way back down to $10. That's rough. That's rough. These are so dangerous, these stocks here. Which is why really I don't, most of the time when I was developing my strategy, I stayed away from these stocks. I did. But, and not I'm saying when I came, so let me decipher the difference just in case you guys are scratching your head a little bit here. So I've been trading for, I don't know, I guess almost a few years now, and when I first got in, obviously I was trading a lot of these low float stocks. I was doing a lot of that. But when I got out of the market for a while, I took like a 6 month, maybe 8 month break total. I guess after 6 months of a break, and then I started to trade in a simulator and develop a new strategy. And when I did that, and by the way, SPY looks like it's wanting to still come back down to break the pre-market lows. So I'm watching that. But when I did that and developed my strategy and then started trading again, I really stayed away from low float stocks a lot. And now if I did trade them, I would just trade them with very conservative share size and very tight stops. And so I've stuck to that for the most part. Admittedly, here in the last few weeks, since things have been crazy, I've probably jumped on a couple of them. But again, just risking very little, not risking too much at all. I'll tell you what, when this NCLH was falling, or NCLH, I can't believe it did not take my 500 shares short. That would have been a great move. This looks like if SPY breaks those pre-market lows, it looks like we could get a good move here. So I'm going to go ahead and get in 100 shares. SPY is heading towards those pre-market lows. It's tapping on the door. It's knocking on the door. It's not breaking it though. It's not breaking it. Tapped off of it. We need to see a good clean break here. You see a good clean break. I think DAL will follow suit. SPY is come on, SPY, bust down through it. Bust down through it. It's not holding. 3.25 million float for ICD. Okay, appreciate that, Yonibi. Yeah, and it's had what, already 9 million shares traded on it so far. Man, SPY's holding the line, guys. It's holding the line. Come on. Tell you what, if this breaks down through it though. There it is. There's the break. There's the break. Okay, there we go. Is it going to pull the market? It's not pulling Delta. It's not really pulling it too hard. Let's see. Come on, is Delta? There it is. There's the break on Delta. There we go. There we go. Can we get it? Oh, come on. Come on. Come on. Can we get a continuation? Get a continuation. SPY's pulling. Come on. Ah. Okay, we're up 232.77. So that was a nice little, what, $14 there. So pad the wallet, pay for a lot of this basically. So SPY's pulling. Just gonna go with it. There we go. Thinking about going in a little heavy here, but just not seeing quick resolution to the downside. SPY is moving very slowly, and the bears are having a really hard time maintaining control below those pre-market lows. Tell you what, guys. There we go. Come on. There's a war here. There we go. There's a little bit of a break. A little bit of a break. Very slow moving though, and very light volume. Very slow moving, very light volume. Let's look at Boeing. AL. Yeah, very, very slow moving. Yeah, okay. ICD. Could be finding some support here. I'd still be careful with it. Oxy, APA, ZM, and Roku. Let's look at Roku. DAL. Okay, SPY's continuing to make a move down. It's pulling. It's pulling. I suppose it could bring down the airlines, but still choppy, guys. Still chop. A lot of chop. And we broke the 15-minute low here. And you would think that this would be going a little bit further, trekking down into the 2230s. SPY pushing, or pulling, excuse me. Getting a bounce off of another level I marked out. Show you right here. There's another level that we marked out right here at 273.10. Getting a little bit of a bounce there. If we crack through that, we should be able to make it down to 270.94. But just a little bit of a bounce there. And DAL is incredible. DAL is just incredible. There's no other words for it. ZM, APA. Gonna go ahead and remove APA. I'll leave Oxy. Let's look at CVX. That's another one I haven't. Not too interested in that. ICD, very spready, almost 20-cent spread. I'd wait for that to close up. At some point, this is going to trade around, between this area here, and if there's going to be any kind of a breakup, this gap is going to close. The spread is going to get tighter, kind of like it is right here. Well, look at that. It went from basically 1060 to 1020 in a flash. It's ridiculous. Okay, SPY looks like it's and come on, SPY. It's just choppy, guys. You got to be careful. I'll tell you what, here's the type of move that I would normally take. And this is just kind of the difference of my how I've been trading lately as to how I was trading. I would go ahead, if you can look at the DAL chart here, and then we got the SPY chart here. What I would probably do is go ahead and get in on DAL, like, I don't know, 200 shares. And I would just put a stop for, and Works has reached $7. That's good. Sauger, Works has reached $7. So I'm going to look at that here in a minute and watch for a break of 720. But I would just say that, I'm not going to stop out of this unless I see SPY break back up, past the 9 EMA. And that would even give this time to break up past, like VWAP or something. Now I'd be risking, $100 or whatever, but I'd be I would let it go. I would let it go from like 22.50 all the way down to, probably 21.50. I'd let it go for $200. But in these market conditions, I don't even feel comfortable with doing that. So, it's almost like I want to take bigger share size and scalp out quickly if I have to. So let's look at Works. And it totally broke the 720 level. So that's good. So next we are looking for it to break the 776 level. It's got a lot of, it's, all the way up to like 18 or 827. So this is another one just to be careful on. It's a little spready. But I think it's going to test 8. So, but I would hate for this to flash down to $7. Let's just look at it here for a minute. Let's see how far down it goes. Is it going to break the 50s? Yeah. Yeah, it's so my initial point was to get in at the break of 720. But obviously I was watching SPY and Delta and kind of was assessing all that. So late to the party. And I'll tell you what, on the 1 minute chart, when it broke up through 7, I mean, it went all the way up. I wouldn't have had time to get in. Anyway, I guess on the pullback here, I could have gotten in. Looks like it wants to test 8. What are the shorts on Works? They're expensive, right? Yeah, $62 for 500 shares. Let's see how much 100 shares is. $12. $12 for 100 shares. Wow. It's pushing. 827 is going to be a nice spot for a breakout. I think if it can do that. ICD just losing steam, but I mean it's maintained above VWAP, so that's interesting. Okay, works. Works is interesting. But it's very choppy. It's interesting but choppy. And so is Delta, so is Boeing. It's a lot of chop. A lot of chop. Let's see what Roku's doing again. Okay, Roku's holding. It's holding. Question is the ICD going to make a full pullback? Full dollar pullback here? Works is entertaining enough to watch. He's got a lot of volume picking back up on it. I mean, we could go for, you know, like a $2 move on 100 shares. I would even be fine, maybe even taking 50 shares. I mean, if this moves a whole dollar, $50, you know, and I'd risk, I don't know, I'd risk, I guess, 70. I mean, it's not really a good risk to reward, but no, wouldn't be it. Wouldn't be that. I'd be risking 35 to make 50. So that'd be all right, I guess. I'll tell you what, if it can't break 8 again, look out, because this is going to come all the way back here. It's not good. But, I mean, who knows? Somebody could just come in and just throw tons of money at the market. Push this thing up. CAT moved quite a bit, but it doesn't look like it's done. So let's see. I'll take a look at it. Yeah, good call. Good call. I wonder why it's moving. 3.3 million shares. I'm going to look it up. Check the news on it. Caterpillar American Express share losses lead Dow's 312-point drop. Wow. So that's the headline. Yeah, I mean it's a steady fold. Steady fold. It looks like it's gonna. I'll take take 100 shares on it. See if we can get a little bit more of a drop here. There we go. Looked like it was going to be a clean break at 115.25. Going to be a reversal. A little bit of a squeeze there. Oh. Here, I'll buy back. I'll see if I can get out some of my shares here, reduce my size a little bit. There we go. Okay. Came out half, just in case. See if we can get a break of 115. It's a slow mover. I think as long as SPY keeps moving down, you know, this could continue to move down. Every time SPY gets a pullback, CAT gets a pullback. Oh, come on. There we go. It's a nice little move. Let's see, about 114.70. Let's see if we can get a fill there at 114.70. There we go. There's a nice little drop. See if we get it at 70. Can we get it? There we go. Okay, good. All right, so we recovered on that last 50 shares. And really, it's only because SPY's pulling. It's only because SPY's pulling. So Caterpillar is just following suit with the SPY. Thanks, Yoni B. Appreciate it. Probably the best place for me to learn shorting. Yeah. Yeah, so for those of you who were watching, you can see what I did there. Obviously, you know, I saw it getting a break of this right here at 115.26. I went ahead and went short. I think I got a fill at 100 shares at 115.21. And as it was coming back, I noticed the SPY was coming back. And so after seeing this green candle here and then knowing the SPY might start pushing up from here off of this level, I wanted to go ahead and reduce my share size just because, you know, obviously I don't want to give back my profits on the day. I still want to end over $200 on the day. And so I had to take about, I don't know, I guess a $4 or $5 loss on the first 50 shares. So I unloaded the first 50 shares, but I held on to the rest. And I put out an order at 114.70, and that put me up over 250 on the day. So, you know, obviously hindsight, I mean, could have gotten filled at um, 50, 114.50. I could have put it in at the break of that, and would have been, would have been a nice little move. But this is fine. I mean, this is fine. It would have only put me up maybe another. I really would have only put me up another $10 maybe. So it doesn't matter. I'm good. I've paid for the trades today. I've made, I don't know, probably $220 after that, 225. So probably just gonna take it from here, guys. I don't. I mean, the only thing that I'm watching for here is if SPY. Man, I hate it when it does that. Come on, there we go. Um, if SPY continues to make a move, because our next level is 270, and really on the daily, SPY could move all the way back down to 266. So I don't know. If it continues to pull, but it's still like you can see all this choppy action through here on the 1 minute, which made, again, stocks like Delta very, very difficult. I mean, look at this, just back and forth right now, and at some point it's going to choose a pretty steady direction, but the question is when is it going to do that? Um, so I mean, it looks like it's doing it now. I mean, on the 5 minute, 5 minute looks great. 5 minute looks great. But you know what? When we lost this 5 minute low right here, this 5 minute looked great. But then look what happened. Pulled all the way back. Pulled all the way back. Then did this choppy action here. So this 5 minute looks great. It broke, but is this one going to come all the way back up? And you can see we've got some buying pressure coming in. So we got to be careful. Just got to be careful. Got to be careful. And as a matter of fact, so you can see here, I made $21 on Caterpillar. That was after having to remove half my shares. So I still ended up making $21 on the trade. Really, I guess maybe 15, $16. If you really want to tally it all up, but for 2-3 minutes worth of work, I'll take it. That's my constant go-to of philosophy here in trading. I have to always think about that. I think that really can help you keep a level head. I think that can really help people, maintain some kind of sanity in, or I'll say this, not sanity. That's not where I want to go with this. I think it can help people really build their accounts and be happy with reasonable profits, without having to feel pressured to make thousands of dollars or whatever. I mean, they can be good with their few $100 on the day and walk, or their $100 or their $200. I mean, think about it, guys. Like, I try to tell people this all the time. I mean, if you just wanted an extra little side income and you wanted to make, I don't know, let's just say an extra $100 a day. It can totally be done. Totally be done. You come in here, make your $100, and then go do your other job or whatever. If you make $100 a day every single day, there's roughly like maybe 250 trading days in a year. I mean, that's an extra $25,000. It's an extra $25,000 just for a little side hustle. Come in, just work, an hour or two, make an extra $25,000. And yeah, you're gonna have to be taxed on that, but still, yeah, you're working like an hour a day, maybe two, doing something you like, and then you go do something else. Go, work another little part-time gig or whatever. Um, but there's a lot of people out there. I mean, especially if you're, if you're retired and you're just looking for something to do, or even just like a college kid. I mean, think about a college kid who, you know, doesn't doesn't have time to go and, like, say they've got a huge, full blown college schedule, and they just don't have a lot of time, and they're studying all the time, but they want to have some way to make a little bit of extra money, but they don't have time to go every evening for 4 or 5 hours an evening, even though it's a part-time job, waiting tables or something like that, or delivering pizzas. I mean, and they might say to themselves, or they could say to themselves, well, rather than going and delivering pizza for 4 hours to make $100, or rather than going and waiting tables for 4 hours to make $100, and waiting tables can be good. You can make more than that, obviously, waiting tables, but they might say to themselves, like, I don't have 4 hours in the evening every evening. Like, I have to study. I've got to stay on top of my game. I'm trying to get through school, but I can give an hour of my time every morning to trade stocks. I can do that, and make an extra $100. Put yourself, put yourself through college, or at least partly through it. But yeah, 100, $200, $300 even. It's really not that hard to do. Yoni B says, very true. I don't know if you guys have it in the US, but we have a TFSA in Canada, and your gains in that account are not taxed. So that is literally a tax-free $21 for 5-minute work. Tax-free savings account. We have something, Yoni B. There is, and I totally can't even think of it right now. But I mean, how would that apply to day trading? I'm curious. I know that there's something newer, that there was a pattern day trader tax status, or whatever, that came into play, at least in the U.S. back in 2019, I think. It might have been 2018. I don't know, but that's something else I'm kind of curious about. I don't know how any of that stuff works. Speaking of, I need to contact my accountant today because I have not heard back from them. Let's see. This is interesting on Caterpillar. It's following the SPY, but it's diverging a little. But you can see here, SPY's starting to push up a little. Caterpillar started to push up a little. Now SPY's got a stronger push, and so if Caterpillar loses 114.20, might be good for another little scalping short. But I got to keep my eye on the SPY, because if the SPY decides it wants to, whatever, then SPY all of a sudden wants to get bought up. Here's Works, here's ICD. I'm going to pretty much remove both of these for now. Bill M., what about mining stocks, playing those? You mean for, Bill, you mean for like tax purposes, or are you just asking in general? I would be interested if Works. I'd be interested to see if it got above 836, by the way. So NCLH, gonna delete that. ICD, gonna delete. No, I'll keep that. Gonna delete that, gonna delete that, and then works. We will say 825. I'd like to know. Bill says, in general, okay, since everyone is expecting they go up due to physical demand. Yeah, I mean, let's see. Let me look at, got GDX on my trading view chart. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, Bill. I mean, it's a really good question. Maybe if somebody else here in the chat has some good advice on that. Oh, I see what you're saying. By the way, Bill M. I used to play GSS a lot a couple years ago. Do you have a ticker? Okay, you should be careful day trading. Okay, you're talking about day trading. Sorry, totally went over my head. Yoni B, my bad. Yeah, so day trading in your TFSA account. New legislation was passed last year. Generated income generated could be considered business income in your TFSA. Interesting. And Bill, to finish answering your question, basically, yeah, going back to, I'm kind of summoning anybody in the chat that knows more about that sort of thing. I typically don't get involved with, mining. I don't, or miner stocks, whatever you would say. And you would think that it would go up in a market like this, but it's crazy how much it went down. And if the economy is suffering, I don't know if it's going to play out the way that it typically would. Especially if we end up going into some kind of global recession. Now, I don't really think that's going to happen. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't think that's going to happen, but I just don't. I don't know. Again, I don't have the greatest answer for you on that. And as a day trader, again, it's just not something that I typically mess around with. But it's a good question. And again, if there's somebody in the chat who can answer Bill, who can give a much better answer than I could, because I'm really not giving him the best answer here. But I just, I'm very careful, Bill, whenever it comes to, if there's things that I don't really know that much about, like I just want to be upfront with you about that. I don't want to sit here and act like I know everything. And that's something that I'm probably just not completely comfortable touching on. But I'm sure we've got people here in the chat that are probably much smarter than me in that regard, or, when considering getting in on those stocks. And it sounds like, I mean, I'm guessing you're talking more for swing trading purposes or maybe even investing purposes. You can correct me if I'm wrong on that, but that's what it sounded like you were saying. Again, since you were looking at the macro perspective of everyone expecting that they go up to physical demand. So I'm assuming that you're talking more from a swing trading or investment perspective. Yoni B, shorted all. Yeah, I still report it. I haven't paid on it yet, but you're right. It might change going forward. So, question is, could we be getting a little bit of a reversal on Caterpillar? Don't quite know yet. Oxy, Boeing's kind of moving independently now. It's making its own little leg down here. Okay, so this is something to pay attention to. I don't know how much of a sell-off there would be. I don't know if it would go all the way down to the mid 140s, but see, Bowen's doing that thing. It always does. It breaks key levels, and then it snaps back. Just snaps all the way back. Oxy, making a leg down. ZM kind of been chopping around the same area. Okay, so is this another spot to go short on cat, I wonder? I mean, it looks good, but then again, okay, well, okay, got me, picked me up. So let's see if we can get out for a quick 113.79. Maybe 113.72. SPY's pulling. We might be able to get a good leg down here. See if we can get a good break. We can get a good break. Okay, SPY's coming back. So we need to be careful here. Ah. Come on, SPY. Man, it's a chop fest. Okay, SPY's breaking. See if we can get a break down there at 113.72. Be a good spot to get out. Come on. Ah. Okay, SPY's getting bought up. Quick little pull up on SPY. See if we can maintain. Give this some time to work its way out. Let's do it on the 1 minute. There we go. It's a slow sell-off, but oh, come on. SPY all of a sudden going to turn around now. Come on. Okay, looks like it could break here. Looks like it could break. There we go. Unless SPY ends up coming up, and if SPY breaks up, then this is obviously going to break up. Yeah, SPY's breaking up. All right, Sauger. It's good seeing you, man. Thanks for stopping by today. And I will run. I will run. I'm gonna get out. I'm gonna get out. After this, I'll be done. It's 11 o'clock, and I do have other stuff that I've got to get done today. So, um, just other work related stuff. We're gonna see what happens here on this move. Yeah, SPY looks like it's gonna start moving up now. So, man, SPY, come on. Okay. And Bill says, right, swing trade. I'm amateur as. Let's see. Oh, I see. Okay, yeah. Well, that's yeah, yeah. That's cool. That's cool. Great questions, though, Bill. Great question. And probably somebody else in here could answer that. Like I said, a lot better than I could. Okay, so I'm gonna see if I can get out of this at 39. See if we can get enough of a pullback back to 39. So I'll take the L there if I have to. SPY's pulling back significantly, so I should be able to get out. 39. SPY's getting crushed. Come on. There we go. There we go. Can we get it? Can we get it? Come on. There we go. There we go. Come on. There we go. Okay. All right, guys. I'm done. So 243.77 and obviously paid for the trades today. So good with that. But yeah, SPY looks like it could be catching a little bit of a reversal today. So be interesting to see how that plays out. I mean, it's not really, hitting on any critical level. So I feel like it could still come down. I mean, I guess we're kind of hitting on this level back here. So that's kind of a level. I guess this is right here. Yeah, it's kind of a level. But we should be able to, if we break that, we should be able to make a move down to 270. But I don't know. Things are slowing up. Doesn't seem like there's too much volume in the markets today. And man, I'll tell you what, this came all the way back down. Nothing more nerve-wracking than that. Nothing more nerve-wracking than that. Look at this. Look at that. All the way back down, guys. SPY's breaking those levels. Right here, SPY's breaking down. So obviously, CAT's following suit. You hate to see that. You hate to see that. I hate to see that. That came all the way up here. But, you just don't know what's going to happen, guys. Hindsight trading is, boy, that's 2020. because I'm definitely thinking, I would have held on to that. I'd be up 270, 280 maybe. Um, but it's all right. Is what it is. NCLH losing, Dow losing, or DAL I should say. Um, so, but yeah, it's a chop fest. It's a chop fest for sure. Really is. Stocks are just breathing in and breathing out right now. So, could this, sorry, Yoni, just now seeing that comment, could this be the start of the next leg lower in the crash? What do you think? Um, well, I mean, here's the thing. Here's the thing, Yoni B. Like, I have thought about that many, many times. We've talked about it several times. Um, Let me pull out the daily chart here. Just how I mean, you've heard me say several times, I'm sure, that for us to have a after a correction like this, I mean, we need some kind of a pullback to, I think, really give bulls confidence that we're going to make a recovery. I just can't see how this would be a V-shaped recovery. I can't. I can't. Now this one was, and this was going back to December 2018. I mean, nobody was expecting this to happen, but this didn't just happen in a day, or this didn't just happen all at once. Like, we hit the all-time highs, we came down, we tested, came down, tested, triple bottom right there. Then we broke a leg lower. And then, we had a gradual, V-shaped recovery from there. And then once we got to these tops, we had a little bit of a pullback and then came up, a little bit of a pullback, came up. So it wasn't like it's not what this would be. What this would end up being, and there's people that are thinking about it or talking about it, is they think that this could just come down and come all the way back up. I mean, that would be an extremely sharp VWAP recovery, and you're talking about on a move that pretty much happened all at once. I mean, we did have a slight bounce here, but then it just, this happened way quicker than what was going on in December of 2018. I mean, it started in October, I think. Let me see here. Yeah, October 8th or October 4th is kind of when that move started. And then that move hit its bottom December 24th. So you're talking, 2.5 months later. Whereas this move kind of started, we'll say, February 24th and was down here at this low by March 24th. So this was done, probably 2 to 3 weeks sooner and, 2 to 3 weeks faster than the move back there. Excuse me. No, I take that back. I said a month and a half. No, 2.5 months. It was 2.5 months. So this happened literally basically in half the time or less. A little bit less than half the time. So, and with everything we have going on with the economy, we're facing the times of uncertainties and all that. Yeah, I think that this could make I don't know if it's going to make a leg lower than this, but I definitely think that at some point we need to pull back. We need to pull back to see if more investors come in and, see if there's more buyer confidence kind of in these areas down here. And if we can test this area, for example, or even this area, and even if we came down here and tested that previous low and it started getting bought back up again, I mean, then I would say, yeah, I think we've hit a bottom. I think we've hit a bottom. But we need to see some kind of significant pullback and a buy up for me to feel like we've hit a bottom. So right now, I don't know. Until I see that, then I'm always going to think that we could make another leg lower. Always going to think that. Spy's moving, guys. All right. Okay. Well, guys, I am pretty much done for the day. I'm gonna take it and walk, and I've got another job I've got to get to here. So great thing about working from home, though. Great thing about working from home. You can do this for a couple hours in the morning, and we're actually starting to get in some good work with my other job. I do work for a web development company. I handle a lot of their strategic web marketing and consultations and stuff like that. Or I provide consultations for their clients. But you know, well, I guess I sometimes do little pieces of front end web development for them as well. Um, they work specifically with WordPress, the WordPress platform, and they use what's called the Divi theme builder a lot. They use the Divi theme builder for WordPress. I don't know if that means anything to you guys, but great platform. So I do a little bit of the front end work for them on that whenever they get those projects in. But it was slow for a while, but it's been picking back up. And I don't know if for those of you who weren't in earlier this morning when we first started the live stream, I was kind of apologizing for not getting another episode of the Trader's Mind in. But I literally just could not get to it this weekend. Just um, had a huge project come in for my other job that I had to get done. Um, but yeah, we've got there's a pretty big project I got to tackle today as well and get done for them. So um, was it always work from home, or you started working from home once the quarantine started? Oh yeah, no, it was always work from home. Um, this is a web development company that's based out of the Raleigh, North Carolina area. So, and my wife and I, we live kind of in the Charlotte, North Carolina area, which is roughly about 3 hours away from Raleigh. So, yeah, there's no way I'm going to commute 3 hours every day. So, yeah, I do it all from home, and I meet with I meet with like the team leaders and the CEO all on Google Hangouts. We do video chats every other day, and um, most of the work is done through, it's just all sent through email, and they have a pretty robust support ticket system. So, when there's certain things that need to be done, if I get flagged on those, it's all everything's set up digitally, everything's set up over the internet. So, um, but I've had my hands in a lot of small businesses over the years, and um, I've done a lot of different things. I actually, and I don't know, some of you guys have probably heard this before. This might be new to some of you guys, but I actually ran a recording studio and a digital audio engineering lab out of my home I did that for about 12, 13 years. And mostly focused on vocal recordings and stuff like that. I mean, I didn't have a huge, like, I didn't have the kind of studio that could really manage like like full bands or choirs or orchestras or whatever. Like I couldn't handle anything like that, but I recorded a lot of, you know, vocalists over, different styles of music and that sort of thing. And I also did stuff. I recorded stuff for like radio ads um, but most of what I did was not recording. Most of what I did actually came from other studios that that were bigger studios where they did all the recordings there, and then people would send the audio files to me to do all the engineering on, all the mixing and editing and mastering and adding of special effects and just whatever the project called for. And so I actually ended up working for studios and clients. I mean, I had people all over the country that I was working for, and did a couple projects used by Sony. I did one of the bigger mastering jobs I did actually before I shut down my studio was a project used by Warner Brothers, and so that was pretty cool. And but I didn't. I never really worked for any kind of major companies. All the stuff, most of the work that I did was just independent. Even the artists that I did work for, a lot of them were just underground, no names. I did one project or maybe two projects. One in particular. No, I think it was there. Actually, there were two projects. There was actually a third, as a matter of fact, that where you could have actually gone to the store and buy the CD, and so they were kind of for bigger ventures, but it wasn't. Most of the stuff I did was I don't want to chalk it up to something it wasn't. I mean, most of the stuff that I did was just, like I said, just smaller time, local, independent. They, again, work came in from around the country, but even from the various cities and states that I got work from, they were all from smaller time, studios and recording places and stuff like that. So, but while I did that, I did several other things too. I helped a buddy of mine build a landscape design company in the Charlotte area, and so there's a lot of times where I would go out in the mornings, and and I had a truck and trailer and all that stuff, and I would help him build that business, and we would get out there and do a lot of work and design work on people's property fronts, and so did that for about 8 years. And then so I'd be out there in the mornings, and sometimes through the day, but a lot of times I was coming back to the studio in the afternoons, and I was recording people or taking engineering jobs that were coming in. And I also, another thing I had an instrumental leasing store up. So I had a website where you could lease out instrumentals that could be used for various projects or even background music for whatever. So I did that, and I mean several things. Like I said, I don't want to bore you guys. I know a lot of you guys have probably already heard me talk about some of this stuff, but I've always just been very entrepreneurial, and I've had several business ventures too that I tried to get off the ground that did not do well, and that ended up failing miserably. And but I'll tell you what, I don't look at them as complete failures. I think I learned a lot through the process. I learned a lot, and I gained a lot. They were really good teaching moments in my life, teaching me, what to do, what not to do, and even testing my character and showing me, learning things about myself. I mean, you find out what you're really made of when you start facing defeat and facing failure. I mean, you really do, and there were a lot of things in my character that I feel like were tested pretty harshly in some of those circumstances and situations, and things where I thought, areas of my life where I thought, hey, I've got this figured out, and then you get punched in the face by a failing business venture, and you realize that you're not such a big shot, and it humbles you, and you learn a lot through that. You learn a lot through that. And so anyway, so I've had a couple of those, and I feel like they were, at the time, obviously didn't feel good, and at the time, I definitely hated that they didn't work out. But now looking back on them, actually, it's funny how things work out, because some of these business ventures, I realize now, I probably, if they had grown to full capacity, I probably would not have enjoyed them. And so it's kind of good that they didn't work out. But yeah, I'm a hustler, man. I try, dude. Like I haven't even told you the half of it. There was at one point in my life I had seven streams of income, and just doing, having little side things going on here and there. And I think I even told you guys, like, one of them, just for example, just one of the other things I was doing is I would since I had the trailer for the landscaping, I ended up putting it to good use and connecting with some local body shops and auto body shops and mechanic shops that would throw out a lot of their metal, and metal prices at the time were really, really good. I mean, they were really good. And so I would go, like, literally just once a week. This was one of my little side hustles. Once a week, it would take me roughly, 4 or 5 hours, maybe, sometimes less, sometimes just a couple, 2, 3 hours. And then sometimes it would take me, 5, 6 hours maybe, but roughly on average, 4 to 5 hours once a week. I would take that trailer out and I'd hit all these body shops and mechanic shops, and I'd pick up their metal. They'd have it sitting out for me, and they'd have a designated metal area on their property, and I would go pick up the metal. And it was a help to them because it kind of got it out of their way, and they didn't have to throw it in the dumpsters and deal with the city or whatever. So because the city doesn't, they don't want you throwing that stuff in the garbage dumpsters. But so they would set it out. I'd pick it up once a week. I'd make a round, hit 4 or 5 shops in the Charlotte area, take it to the metal yard, weigh it, dump it off, and I'd make an extra $300, $400, $500, just depending. I mean, it literally, most of the times it came out to be about $100 an hour. So, if I'm spending 4 or 5 hours doing this, I'm typically making $400 or $500. And there were some days where I made way more than that. And, but it was a nice little side income. It made me roughly an extra, anywhere from $1,500 to $2,000 a month, and it was good for a while until the metal prices started going down. And then when metal started going down, it just wasn't as worth it to me. I mean, it was still kind of worth it because I could still get $200-300 again for 4 hours of your time. And I mean, you're working on your own time. You're not working for anybody. You're working for yourself. So even when it got to the place to where I was only making like $800 or $900 a month, it was still fine. But I ended up getting out of that, just because I didn't know where the metal prices were going, and I wanted to give those other shops in the area, the body shops and mechanic shops, enough time to make sure they had another plan in action before I dropped off. So, but anyway, okay, Roku may be bouncing off 94. I'm taking a paper trade short on it. Let's see. Let's look. Roku. Could be. It all depends on what the SPY does. Now, the SPY does not have, a ton of volume on it, and it looks like it's coming down, but I don't know. It's reclaimed that 9 EMA on the 5-minute, and you can see here Caterpillar, or no, excuse me, where was Caterpillar? There it is. Caterpillar's starting to make a leg up too. So I don't know, you almost have to wonder, is this like the reversal for the day? But SPY may reject and may just continue moving down, and we may move down to the 270 to maybe even, where was it, the 266 levels. Yeah, 266.70, 266. But I don't know. Good call, Yoni B. So anyway, guys, I have got to. I'd love to stay in here a little bit longer. I've got a lot going on today with my other work. So let me go ahead and get to that. And yeah, hey, appreciate you guys joining me once again. Had a great time with y'all, and I'll consider coming back in a little bit later, and it just depends what I see. I mean, if it's just continued slow action, but I'll set some alerts, and I've already got some alerts set here. You can see I've got, if ICD breaks 1256, that might be significant. If NVAX breaks 1825, that'll be significant. If Works breaks 825, I'll want to know about that. But then you got, let's see. Yeah, ZM could end up making another leg up here. So that would be interesting. It's got some resistance here at 133.49. So is that where it touched up here? No, it touched up to 133. So I may set a couple alerts. I may come back in later and do a very conservative trade. I mean, obviously, I'm not sacrificing this, and I don't want to overtrade and rack up commission. So it would literally have to be one of these things where, maybe I take 50 shares and I risk 25 to make 50. If I could pack on an extra $50 here, or maybe even $60 and put myself right over 300, that would be fine. But I'm not going to risk any more than 20 bucks on something like that. 25, maybe 30 at best. So I will end the day over 200. It's just a matter of, will we come back later, and will I have found a good enough trade to make an extra $50 on 50 shares, or maybe maybe $50 on 100 shares. So let me see here. Yeah. So I'll check back in on this later, guys. And listen, yeah, you're welcome, Word Diver. You're welcome, Yoni B. Yeah, definitely hope to see you guys tomorrow. And as always, it's great having y'all in here. And yeah, today's a good day. Today's a good day. So probably ending the day, like I said, probably roughly around, I don't know, maybe 215, 220 after fees and commissions. And it'll be interesting to see where this market goes from here. But yeah, you guys have a great afternoon, and I'll look forward to seeing y'all tomorrow.